All right, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Two Stroke Turbo's Odd and Unique Car Channel. This car is no different than all the rest. It's odd and unique. Anybody know what it is? It's got a diesel engine. It's turbocharged, 5-speed. It's JDM, all kinds of neat goodies. I'll give you a little hint. It's Mitsubishi, and it's not a Montero, but it's a Pajero. Really neatly outfitted vehicle. You can see it said intercooled turbo there on the side. And this one's really dolled up with the fancy billet wheels, the fancy attachments like the class 3, 4, or 5 hitch, the super duper rack on top, the rock sliders that are custom made, and the really nice, I think it's aluminum front bumper with attachments, winch, lights, all kinds of great lights. Really a neat vehicle. Has the mirror, the JDM mirror on the side, the red racing stripe with the rally art. Really sets off this white 1991 Mitsubishi Pajero. So it's in for service and a chassis cleanup paint job. I just changed the fuel filter, which is a white thing way back in there. That was a difficult job. You got to pull the intercooler out, pull the whole assembly out, but I got it. Now, originally this had a, I'm going to get confused here. I don't remember the code number on this engine. It was a Mitsubishi engine. Now it has a Hyundai engine, which is very similar. And I don't really know the specifics. I'm sorry. I think they're both 2.4. And they're diesel, and I think they're common, yeah, the old-fashioned, not the high-pressure, super high-pressure rail has a new injection pump. So you forgive me for my lack of knowledge on that. I do know it's a very similar engine, but it's not the original engine, and there was some adaptation that had to happen. But it is turbocharged, it is intercooled, and it is a diesel. It's very similar to the one that was in there, and I think the bolt pattern was the same. But there was an issue with the old block that cracked that couldn't be fixed. What's really interesting is how the intercooler works. You can see the intercooler is here on top of the engine bay, and you can see there's a matching outlet on the hood, so the high pressure air as you're driving down the road gets ingested through the grill, up through this vent, into the hood, across the top of the hood and down, and there's also a fan on the underside of the intercooler that helps pull the hot air, helps extract the hot air from the intercooler. That works pretty cool. So let's take a look at the inside. Open the door here. It's really a pretty neat vehicle. Key's gonna beep, of course. Very Mitsubishi-ish like from the 80s. You can see the 4-wheel drive or the 2-wheel drive lights blinking there. The green lights shows you we can turn on the what's called the center differential lock, and we can select 4-wheel drive and everything will light up green. So the center differential will light up green when that's engaged, and then also the other 2 wheels. The speedometer's in kilometers. It does have a tachometer, lots of gauges. There's even some aftermarket gauges down below for EGT and boost level. And then we've got the altimeter and angle of incline and compass and lots of really cool stuff. Really neat rig. It's a shorty. In other words, it's just a 4-seater, but very short rig. It's not the long wheelbase Montero. Cloth seats. Very nice vehicle. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to jack it up on the lift here. And we're going to basically wire brush some of the rust off. Oh, hi, Stell. How are you? You want to say hi to... Hey, where'd you go? You do want to say hi. Come here and say hi. Come say hi to everybody. Oh, did you give us a smile? Sometimes you do that. You give us a smile. Oh, you crazy dog. Okay. Look at that squirrel. Look at that squirrel. So we're going to jack it up on the lift, and we're going to start wire brushing some of the crust and the rust off. We've already power washed the underside, and we're going to paint the underside with 415 because they're going to take it off-road and in the snow and dust and dirt, and they want the chassis to be protected. Really neat rig. So let's get going on that. Okay, change of plans. We actually forgot I have another car I got to get done before this. So let's do just a quick startup. These things are really neat. I love this thing. Stella, you want to go for a ride? You can't. Sorry, girl. This is a nice car. You can't get your white fur. You can't shed in this car. Okay, so we're going to let the glow plugs warm up here a little bit. Where's our glow plug dealie? Is that it? That's water in the fuel filter. I think the glow plug just clicked off. I heard him. So push the clutch in and there we go. I've got the what do you call this little RPM increaser, when like a choke kind of, but it's not really a choke, it's just an RPM increaser. So we get the RPMs up about 750, and then we'll put it into gear. And again, it's right-hand drive, so reverse is there. Take the brake off, and we'll back out of the stop. Make sure our mirrors are clear. It's got a nice little diesel rumble to it. No smoke. It's got that little unique diesel smell. It's kind of nice. And we got to clear the shop because we're working on the next diesel. You know what that is? That's right. It's diesel day. Okay, so we'll shut down our diesel here. And we're going to move on to the next diesel. It's a double diesel day. Special day. It's really rare that we get to have two unique older I should say imported diesels, but this is the next one up and it's in for an oil change service. I think you guys have seen me work on this car before, but it's a little worse for the wear, but nonetheless it's really cool. It's an old Rabbit diesel. Also has gauges here. The key buzzer is really bothering me. I'm gonna shut the door. Aftermarket gauges, so we got what do we got here? Tachometer in the middle, pyrometer here, and voltage. So this is our pyrometer, our exhaust temperature, our tachometer, and our voltage. Well, let's start this thing up. We got to let the glow plugs warm. Hey, wait a minute, the glow plug light didn't come on. The glow plug light's supposed to be right there. It must be already warm. Start it up. And old-fashioned 4-speed. Can you hear the diesel? What do we got here? 14 volts, 900 RPM, and very low on the pyrometer. We're going to roll the window down. And let's pull this thing in the shop and give her a little love. It's in for an oil change and a clutch adjustment and general checkup. I think the starter's got an issue. Reverse is dog leg up. In the shop we go. Yeah, it's double diesel day. You guys are so lucky. It never happens. We have two small displacement diesels being worked on the same day. Today's your lucky day. Horn doesn't work. It does. Okay, so we switched diesels on you. It's kind of a unique feature here. We can switch cars at a whim. We have a lot of work to do. So today we're doing a service on this 1981 Rabbit diesel. We're putting in some heavy-duty diesel oil. We use Dello heavy-duty truck oil on almost all our diesels. This is a 1.5 liter, excuse me, 4-door Rabbit diesel. You just don't see these anymore. This one is a one-owner, original owner, nice older gentleman. Brings us in quite often for service because he daily drives it, which is phenomenal. I've done a few videos on this car. It's been fantastic for him. He loves it. He gets 50 miles per gallon in the city. Let's take a look at the power plant. I gotta open the hood here. Oh, does it have a hood opener? No, it just doesn't. Old-fashioned car with chrome bumpers. And the hood release is on the outside, so we'll just give that a little push. And then this comes up, and there's a lever right there. And then there's a prop rod right here. Let's set that up over there. Okay, so you're looking at this fantastic little power plant. It's a 1.5 liter diesel. It's not a common rail. I don't think that's what it's called. It's just an old-fashioned injection pump on there. It's run by a timing belt. We have our fuel filter set up in the corner here, our air filter here. Just pulls in air, cool air from kind of around the side of the radiator. We have a vacuum pump here, which we rebuilt the last video, which runs the power brakes. And just very simple. 4-speed transmission, front wheel drive, of course, and just very, very basic and very original. It's dirty in there and the car is a little worn, but it is a daily driver. You got to remember that. Quite a thick under pad here to keep the diesel noise down. That's the insulation pad under the hood. That's their sound deadening device for when the diesel rattles cold in the morning. Anyhow, this is a square headlight car, so I believe it is an 81, and chrome bumpers still. Didn't last long. They went to the European headlights a few years later, and we're talking 13-inch wheels. Disc brakes in the front with solid discs, and drum brakes in the rear. Great little car. So let's get to work on this thing, and then we'll get to work on the Pajero, and we'll make it a diesel day. How's that sound? Stella, do you like diesel cars and trucks? You do? Because that's what we're working on today. It's diesel day. Oh, I think you like them. There's one right there on the lift. You go sniff it out, Stella. I was being such a good dog. If only she had thumbs, she could help us change the oil in this 1981 Rabbit diesel. So we're changing the oil, we're doing the service on this thing, which is an inspection, checking the brakes, setting the tire pressures, all the fluids, and lubing the clutch. And we're probably going to take this thing out for a little drive around the block, and then we'll move on to the next diesel. I think you know what that is. It's diesel day. All right, so it's diesel day here at the shop, and we're working back again on our Pajero diesel, and we're cleaning the suspension. So you can see we've got our painting tarps on the ground. The last time we painted a suspension, it left all the black, and then commotion in the parking lot. We're cleaning all this down mechanically with wiping it down with a red Scotch-Brite, getting all the Moab dust off, and then wiping all this down with a degreaser and a metal prep. And so we got to get the wheels off and get the painting, make it look a lot better. It's going to look like a show car from the bottom side up. Okay, so we got our wheels and tires off, and we got the suspension and the frame completely cleaned with degreaser and then also metal prepped. And the next thing to do is to put some paint on it and make it shine. That's what we do here. Well, let's check in with Stella. What's Stella doing? Stella, what are you doing? Are you out there sleeping? Them squirrels gonna run right over you. Okay, we got our first coat of Pour 15 on the undercarriage of this Pajero. I think I've got more Pour 15 on me, as you can tell by the drips, than I did on the car. I'm gonna let this sit overnight. It looks much better, but there's some spots I missed. I'm gonna dab it, touch it up in the morning. It's gotta sit for 6 hours or something while it cures and smooth. This paint is amazing. It is very sticky, and if you get it on your body, it doesn't come off. You got to wear it off or use really strong chemicals. And it's dripping under there, so I'm not going to go under there just yet. Ruin my camera. But we'll catch up in the morning. Okay, we're finishing up our double diesel day, and we've got the second coat of Pour 15 applied to the Pajero. You can see the suspension is all shiny. Every nook and cranny has been accounted for, and you can see the drippage on my blanket there. It was really hard to get back up in here. So much Moab dirt, rust and crust, and just preparation. Just took a long time. But anyhow, I think we're good. So let's get the wheels back on this thing and clean it up. All right, we got our wheels back on our Pajero. Let's finish up double diesel day. Stella, you got to move, sweetie. Come on. Come on. I know. You're hot. You go out there in the sun, huh? Come on. I got to start the diesel up. What's it going to take for me to get you to move? Kitty cat? Kitty cat? You like kitty cats? You want a squirrel? Go get him. Go get the squirrel. Go get him. He's out there. Go get him. Okay, watch out. So we're going to fire this thing up, pull it out, and hopefully customer will really like all the work we put into cleaning their frame. It's a lot of work. Okay, so we're in our right-hand drive Pajero. We're going to let our glow plugs glow. I heard them click off. Got something flashing down there. Let's see if it starts. Yep. So my hood's not closed. And then we're going to go reverse and check our mirrors. And whoops, we got to fold this one out. And I'm pretty sure Stella moved. Yep, I see her out the mirror there. Back over here, and we'll do a little around, kind of around town car video. Here we go. Brake on. Let her warm up here. Make sure she's in neutral. This is a really nice car. Look at this thing shining in the sun. There we go. 1991 Mitsubishi Pajero, diesel, 5-speed, right-hand drive, turbo, and now has a complete undercarriage that shines. It's very shiny. What a rig. Way to go.